What's up, witches?
What's up?
I'm Linda, and this is John, and this is Getting Witchy. Well, you were a little delayed the first time, so I figured I'd just...
Oh, impatient are we? Anyway, just teasing, baby. So, hey,
It's been a hot minute.
three's a charm.
Yes.
And I say that because this is the third mother-loving time.
We've tried to record this episode.
No.
Oh, no, the
We
third
did
time
record
we did
them
record
before.
this.
But there were different things that neither of us liked about them. One, there was an argument. Well, I don't know if it was an argument, really.
It was a disagreement.
It's a disagreement on whether or not you were told something that I remember me telling you. You don't remember it. And it involving... it involving a bunch of, well, I say a bunch, like there were 4 or 5 female individuals in the car that came through the drive-thru and wanted to give me a tip and gave me a mini bottle of Fireball. Did not drink it with them, but there was the misunderstanding that I had, and then not telling you, which I remember telling and not drinking there. I drank it when I got off work because that would have been irresponsible to drink on the job.
Mm-hmm.
But so there was that. And then in the same episode, I
Accidentally name dropped.
blatantly name dropped where we both work as our primary. So yeah, there was that one, and then the second one, there was something you didn't like.
Well, because
a gummy.
Yeah, I had
was
done
involved.
I had done a gummy prior, and
a gummy was involved, folks.
And it kicked in while we were filming, and it was blatantly obvious.
Well, to you, maybe
But there was also we skipped whole sections of what
Did we though?
We did.
Oh, and then I got on to rants on both episodes.
Yes.
About our upcoming, what we still plan on
Yes.
doing. That, there is one individual in particular that I'm thinking of that only watches our series, a series that we record.
Okay.
When it's complete.
Really?
Well, yeah, you told me about her.
Oh, okay, yes. Okay, sorry, I kind of forgot.
Sorry, Vicky, I'm thinking of you more than your sister. How could you forget that? So, I went into this rant about the last 2 episodes of that series, and it just got way...
Yes.
Well, you know how I get.
So,
I mean, if you've watched 3 or more episodes, you know how I get. And I went off on this, kind of like I'm doing right now, tangent. So anyway, we are super late.
So
We're like over a month late.
Oh yeah. We're a month and a half late.
Yeah.
On this one. We're talking about Lughnasadh.
And ironically, this is the last one. I mean, we started with the next one, which is Mabon. Which is Mabon.
Yes.
I still think it should be pronounced Mabon. But Mabon. That's like in a couple weeks.
Yeah, it's like on the 21st. like that's a week away.
Like literally, yeah.
It's a week away.
Anyway.
So we are
we're
super late on this one.
Lughnasadh or Lammas, also known as August Eve or the Feast of the Bread or Feast of Bread, Harvest Home. Okay. First harvest. Yes. Absolutely the first harvest.
Gwilaust.
Mm-hmm. Oh, well, I remember saying it correctly without continuing reading the second or the first time, and you were like really surprised that I got. And this time, I looked at it and I'm like,
You're
Will
like,
oust. But yeah, which translates to August Festival.
Yes.
Same as August Eve,
Yes.
August Fest, Feast of Bread.
Right.
The first grains
Also
are
known as
harvested.
Loghnasadh.
They like that moss, like condo
Yes.
moss during like the
Yes.
holiday, like the Christian the Christmas to Easter. There's the Christmas moss.
Well, yes, but Candlemas I think happens on Imbolc, if I remember correctly,
No, it happens in February.
which is Imbolc.
Okay. I'm just saying, like they
Yes,
like
yes,
that
yes,
moss
yes.
name.
Yes.
Yeah, that's
Mass.
all I was.
Yes. Okay. Yes.
What do you?
Anyway, look.
What was the tapping? Like, you're quieting a child. Easy there, chica.
So Lughnasadh happens around August 1st in the northern hemisphere. In the southern hemisphere, it's right around February 1st.
Hence
Yes.
why
But
that would be weird to have the first harvest celebration, like Loughmas, Loughmas, as you say it's pronounced, in February.
well, for us, yes, but
That would be really weird.
Their
Sorry,
seasons-
there was something that tickled my nose.
their seasons are opposite of ours.
Well, yeah, I
So-
get that. I get that. I just it would be, as an individual that's always been like, I never thought of any of the holidays being opposite in another part of the world. I'm naive, not stupid, but
No,
not
but
apparently
also
not learning.
but
But I
also
never thought about the
very like ethnocentric
two. True.
because like we're here.
Right.
We don't necessarily.
Well, I don't think of the
about,
first harvest in freaking February.
I don't know, but again, like south of the equator, their seasons are
That's yeah.
opposite of ours.
Right.
We're having.
Well, I'm just saying, I
winter-
never thought of that ever, even in geography class, which
Well, 'cause
apparently has stopped in schools.
Well,
There's
they don't
no
really
longer.
teach that though. At least I don't remember.
I remember. Anyway, we're getting sidetracked again.
So-
It's the time of the first harvest. Spring plants are dropping their fruit and seeds, oftentimes in the same fruit.
Yes.
I mean, actually, every time.
So the fruit is often the
seeds
seed
are
is
in the
often
fruit.
in the fruit. Yes.
I don't know why I'm sounding stupid tonight. The god is losing his strength as the sun rises farther in the south each day, and the nights are growing longer and colder. Again, similar to our correction that we made with the god is the sun god is losing his strength, and will soon battle what's the king?
Okay, so the Oak King right now is in power. It's the Holly King that's going to take
That's
over.
coming, right? And then the mother is sad,
Yes.
so everything's cold and gray.
Right.
But then she's joyful because
Yes.
her son will become her
Yes,
concubine
because
or husband.
their child lives on in her.
Which is
but
similar
yes,
to the Horus, and where each pharaoh was basically the previous reborn. Kind of.
Yeah,
Strange.
that's anyway.
Again, getting
This is one of the 4 cross-quarter days. So we have Samhain up here, which is coming up in October. We have Beltane down here. Lammas is here, and then we have Imbolc up there. So it's not one of the major quarters, it's one of the cross quarters. This is the first of the major harvest festivals. Next comes Mabon in like a week. And then Samhain, October 31st. And then, which is like...
I can't wait for Samhain.
I know. I can't wait for that either.
Something special is supposed to happen this year on Samhain, and it's unfortunately not going to be able to happen. And We both know it, but
Oh.
yeah. Oh, you just nonchalantly say, "Oh."
No, because I realized what you were talking about,
Yeah.
and yeah,
It's 2024.
yes,
We had a goal.
we had a goal,
And set
and it's
in
okay.
place. No, I know it is, but anyway, so this says it better. I tend to, when I'm a little buzzed, jumble things up and go sideways and sidetrack. The goddess is both sorrowful because the god is dying, but also joyful because she realizes the god lives on inside her as her child and will eventually become her partner, and in the whole cycle.
Yeah, we talked about that.
Yes, we did, but we hadn't. Anyway, but interesting how she doesn't die, though, even though she has 3 cycles as well. The maiden,
Maiden, mother, and
the
crone.
mother, and crone, which is very unapologetic way of saying wise old woman.
Yes.
It's kind of a weird way to in today's vernacular or vocabulary. Anyway, Lughnasadh marks the beginning of the harvest season in the Celtic calendar,
Yes.
halfway between the summer solstice and autumn equinox, which I don't know if you mentioned that already.
I have not.
Get rid of that. Dedicated to the Celtic god of Lu. The G and the H are silent for some reason.
It's Celtic.
Yeah, it's Celtic. Let's see, he's the deity of light, craftsmanship, and skill, who by legend fights and defeats an older god, then demands the secrets of planting, growing, and harvesting from him. That sounds so much like Greek, and like they all battle the old to
and then demand the secrets
right
to continue. Yes. Lu is also sometimes combined with a corn king deity who sacrifices himself so that his people could live on, and his body is basically scattered across the land as corn.
Yes, that's part of the Mayan or Aztec. One of their gods did that. I'd have to go back through our episode that we did on that, which you could check out on our page.
Lughnasadh is also said to be in honor of Lu's foster mother, Tiltaway, who is said to have cleared the way for the introduction of agriculture in Ireland. So she basically tilled all the lands, and in doing so exhausted herself.
Okay.
But then taught
them how to
do it,
agriculture.
And in her exhaustion basically keeled over and died.
Okay. Interesting, her name. It's her name in the terms of the Celtic belief, right?
Yes.
Tailtiu. Now, the way the enunciation has you pronounce it as Tell, tell, Teetway, way, tell to way. What does that sound like?
Aztec.
Yeah. Curious. The celebration includes the ritual cutting of the first grain. Every meal is an act of an attunement with nature, which is why the concept of it's not necessarily what we do when we don't do it every time,
right?
But the act of
blessing,
thanking. It's more of an attunement to cleanse it of any negativity that may have come, and thanking what
each individual ingredient for its sacrifice and participation. But also thanking like the farmers and the truckers, everybody involved in getting it,
which
to
is
us.
all part of the ritual of getting fed today, as opposed to back then. It was different, but still the same thing, which is why I got off onto a tangent to specify that, like the whole process of from farming to harvesting to shipping, or prepping, shipping, and then finally packaging. and then getting to us is all part of the ritual of how we
Right.
get our food. We don't go hunt. We don't
Yeah.
go gather anymore, really, unless we've got something in our backyard. But I don't know. I just wanted to, like, it's all part of it.
Right. So the themes for Lughnasadh include items such as the first fruits, the harvest, gratitude, being thankful for what you have and what you're going to have in the coming year, benevolent sacrifice. This is one thing that I think stuck out to me because we are moving into the season of charity, of
Yes.
gratitude, of taking care of those who don't have as much as we do.
Right. But also, to me, benevolent sacrifice is giving, knowing that you're getting nothing in return.
Right.
So, what do all of the first fruits and first grains do? I mean, they get nothing.
Right.
They're giving to the community and feeding the people.
Right.
So, it all kind of ties together to me.
Also, the themes include utilizing skills and talents. So you're looking at like not only the farmers
Oh no,
and the
blacksmiths.
harvesters, but the blacksmiths, the candle makers, the butchers, the people who
Butchers was a nasty job. It still is.
It still is.
Yeah.
But anybody who is going to make something that is going to be utilized during the dark part of the year.
Right. It marks the end of summer.
The beginning of the end of summer, yes.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
the beginning of the end of summer. Thank freaking the goddess. Especially if you live in a dry, arid area like we do.
Like Phoenix, Arizona, where it's still 111.
Yeah. Anyway, berries, apples, and other fruits are ripening on the tree or vine. Well, yeah, cherries actually started in May or something like it, wasn't it?
Yeah,
May,
I think
June.
so. I think so because I think I had bought you some around that time.
Or at least in North America, in other parts of the world.
It depends on where they're coming from.
Right.
Because some of our fruits are imported from other countries.
Especially South America and Mexico.
Yeah. So we would have to pay attention to like where exactly you are.
Surrounded by abundance, but faced with the knowledge that we're heading into the darkest part of the year.
Yes. So this is the first of the 3 harvest festivals. The next one is Mabon.
Yep, Mabon.
And the last one is Samhain.
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 Yeah, but not Samhain.
Not Samhain.
Or not Samhain.
I'm looking at you, Supernatural.
Looking
at you,
Samhain is
NCIS.
sometimes used. Samhain is sometimes used. But
Samhain, yes, but I'm talking about like those who actually pronounce it Samhain. Looking at you, fucking Criminal Minds. No.
And some of
Spencer
her favorite
Reed should have
shows.
known better.
Some of her favorite shows, but she's calling you out.
Yeah, because you should have known better.
Yeah.
Anyway, grain crops such as corn, late summer, early autumn fruits and vegetables are ready for harvesting, or they will be soon. It all just depends on your area.
I wonder when agave is harvested. I'd have to look that up. Sorry.
Agave?
Agave.
Oh.
Yeah, like for tequila. Yeah. Anyway.
But this time of year, harvesting becomes the main focus.
Yeah, for the next 3 to 3 months.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're not really...
Because this would have been
concerned.
August 1st.
Yeah, right.
So August, September, October.
Yeah, we're not concerned so much about sowing and maintaining. We're talking about reaping and harvesting.
Never mind.
What?
My ears heard something else. Continue. We're not going to get sidetracked. The first stalks of corn are offered during this time to the gods, obviously, as well as a feast and the sacrifice of a bull or other type
like
of large
sheep or something.
Goat.
Which makes sense. Like, I don't know if any of you have ever seen the series Rome.
Not really.
But
it was just like another freaking... It's similar to Game of Thrones.
with not as much
dick flapping around.
Right. But like a lot of people think that like witchcraft and Wicca are all love and light, and
Oh,
you
yeah,
know,
No.
no. If you get back to how things were done back then, there were a lot of animal sacrifices, and not only would they sacrifice the
Well, it
animal, but they
wasn't-
would bathe in its blood too. Like they would sacrifice
Well,
it over
that's-
themselves, and
That was specific. Well, yeah, never mind. Yeah,
like it was brutal by
But they
today's
were-
standards.
but
But that's
not
how
really.
things were.
Yeah.
So the fact that there was, the sacrifice of a bull or a goat or a sheep or whatever, like makes sense because you're
Or
thanking.
the captured enemies from the next village, where they, just. I mean, the Mayan and the Aztecs specifically were quite brutal in their
Yes.
sacrifices.
Yes. But that was all basically as a thank you for what you've given us so far. Like, please
Right.
continue.
The colors associated with this holiday are gold and yellow, which that seems kind of redundant to me. Although I realize they're two different colors, I get it. But anyway,
is shinier.
orange, red, green, and light brown.
Stones associated with this time of year are carnelian, citrine.
Red.
Huh?
I'm just the colors associated with that.
Yes, carnelian is like a reddish orange.
Yeah. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Citrine, which is yellow. Peridot.
Yellow, orange.
Mm.
Some of them can be kind of. I mean, if we're going to talk about the different, some of the really dark citrine are kind of orangish.
Yes.
Anyway, sorry.
Peridot,
Yeah.
which is like a light green.
Yeah.
Aventurine, which there are different types of aventurine. There's green and red and blue.
Yep.
But I think in this case we're probably talking about the green and the red.
Yeah.
Sardonyx, which is, I have no idea.
Well, it's obviously a type of onyx.
Oh, not necessarily.
Yeah.
But anyway, obsidian, which is black. Lodestone. Isn't that the magnetic one? Which is like, okay.
It's
Tiger-
a shiny, deep
deep, like black charcoal.
grayish. Yeah, charcoal.
Tiger's eye, which there's 3 different kinds of tiger's eye that I've ever seen. We're probably talking about the gold. There's also
brownish
red.
gold.
There's also red and blue.
Yes.
And then ametrine, which if you've never
That
seen
I've never
ametrine,
seen of.
if you've never seen it, it's like amethyst and citrine all in one stone.
Ooh.
Like it goes from like the purple to yellow, all in one
That
matrix.
would be beautiful.
It's very pretty.
The plants associated with this holiday would be sage, meadowsweet, ginseng, vervain, calendula, fenugreek, heather, dill.
Love dill.
We both just said the same thing. Yarrow, oak, sunflower, passion flower, acacia flower, cyclamen, poppy. Ooh. Get a little hallucinogenic action going on there. It's a joke.
I know.
Okay. Myrtle and aloe. Aloes. That's an interesting one because it's similar as far as the family is concerned for agave, which I mentioned.
Right.
The blue agave plant. But aloe is more of a healing thing. It's not really a harvest unless you make a drink.
Well, the juice
Ooh,
can
could
be.
you imagine
The juice can be
a
drunk.
fermented aloe. The medicinal factors along with the buzz factors. We may have to experiment on that. Incense for this holiday would be sandalwood, frankincense, copal, which I don't think I've ever smelled, rose, rosehip, rosemary, and yes, those are 2 different things: rosehip and rosemary, rose and rosehip.
Yes.
Chamomile and passion flower.
So if you don't know what a rose hip is, if you
It's
have
what the rose shakes in the wind. Oh, sorry.
if you have a rose plant or a rose bush, once it flowers and drops the petals, there should be a little reddish, kind of bud-looking thing on it. That's the rose hip. It's actually the fruit that carries the seeds of the rose plant.
Gotcha.
And from what I understand, I've never actually tried one, but I've heard they are really, really delicious.
But I wonder if that's while it's green or dried.
Probably while it's fresh.
Or in the middle.
Probably while it's fresh, while the rose hips are fresh. But they can also be used medicinally after they've been dried. Like, I've got a tincture of rose hips going right now that...
Well, you've got a little baggie of rose hips, too. Yes.
Do
I do. Oops. Anyway. Altar decorations.
Altar decorations and symbols include the first harvest fruits and vegetables. Again, we're going to be sacrificing those to the god and goddess as a thank you for everything they've given us this year, but also as a petition to continue blessing us throughout the coming year. Fresh baked bread, which also makes sense considering the first harvested grains are going to be baked into the first breads.
But you know what's not on this list? The first ales. Well, the first meads. Because they've
probably been going for a while. Yeah, they probably started the year before. But, I mean, I don't see any reason why you couldn't put those on there, too. Grapes and vines. Mm-hmm. Corn dollies. So if you've ever seen those little dolls made out of corn husks, not necessarily voodoo dolls, but...
No, who thought... What do you come back?
Okay, my apologies, but the last time we tried to record this, when I mentioned corn dollies, you said voodoo dolls.
Well, they are voodoo dolls.
Sickles and scythes. Yeah, the Grim Reaper's tool. Yeah, you're going to put those on your
But those aren't voodoo dolls.
Lugh's spear. I don't know what Lugh's spear looks like, but...
It's probably similar to... All Father's staff that never missed, or one of the other. There was which we haven't gotten into yet, and I'm not going to get on it with this tangent. We have 2 more episodes to our Pantheon series.
Yes,
but I think both of them, the Sumerian and the Hindu, have a god that has a weapon that shoots out a lightning bolt that never misses, or it's like a missile that never misses. So they all have something similar. I know the Hindu do, and so does
Sumerians.
All-Father.
Oh, the Norse.
Not sure about the Sumerians.
All right. Other things that you can put on your altar as symbols are basically things that represent your own skills. So if you're a blacksmith, you could put a knife or dagger that you've created. If you... What are you laughing about?
We'll do this as a short after this is over.
Okay. If you are an artist, you can put something that you have painted or drawn, or if you work with ceramics, something that you've made that way on your altar as a representation of your skills. Do you want to talk about the foods?
No, you go ahead.
Okay. Foods that are associated with this time of year include apples, bread, again, because the first harvest grains have come in. All grains. We're talking wheat, rice, rye, all of them. Even corn. Most people don't realize corn is a grain.
Squash.
They think it's a vegetable. It's actually a grain. Squash is a vegetable, baby.
Yeah, I know. But they're yummy.
Berries, hazelnuts, summer squash, corn. There it is. Elderberry wine.
We've got all those elderberries, and we haven't made an elderberry wine yet.
What elderberries?
You've got the fucking bags of elderberries.
Oh, I thought I used them all. I'll see if I have some elderberries.
Well,
We'll make some elderberry wine.
Well, if you don't, then we'll get some more.
Then I'll buy some.
Okay.
Ale. Oh, there it is. Ale. And grapes. And probably wine. Because you can make that with grapes.
It was more likely mead, though. Because
Yeah.
they use mead as, it was a source of protein, too. It was almost like an MRE in today's.
Meal
So,
ready to eat. Okay.
yeah.
Do you want to talk about the things we can do to celebrate?
Sure. Baked bread or pretzels. You know, with this being the third time we've done this goddamn recording, I really want to bake some goddamn bread.
We should.
Okay.
And not just banana bread.
No. Did I say?
No, but you love it when I make banana bread.
Oh, I do love your banana bread.
So I'm just
I do.
saying.
No,
something
no,
other
regular
than,
bread.
Yes, regular bread.
Okay. Bless marriages, babies, and homes. Have an outdoor picnic. Well, that's pretty much any time of year. That's good.
Well, unless
for
you're in
any,
Arizona.
No, that's actually good for any holiday anywhere.
Unless you're in Phoenix, Arizona.
It doesn't matter if you're in a desert or in a winter environment.
Oh, okay. Let's have an outdoor picnic in Phoenix, Arizona in the middle of frickin' summer.
You find a shady spot.
Where it's 10 degrees cooler than the 120 degrees in the sun.
If I told you that tomorrow when I pick you up, we're going on a picnic, we're going to have some fresh strawberries, I'll have some sangria, and I'll have it ready on ice, you're going to tell me that you wouldn't enjoy it. Maybe we weren't out there for very long, but
No, of course I would not tell you I wouldn't enjoy it.
Okay. Anyway, picnics can be done any time of year for any of the holidays. Think about it. Especially of the next three. They're all involving harvest. So a picnic is a
I'm
perfect
just
thing.
saying. Okay. Okay. You try that picnic idea in Florida.
If you went during the wintertime, it'd be great.
But now, right now, in the middle of summer, not so great.
Mosquitoes might be a little much.
Yeah,
And
that's
it might
what
be
I'm
a little
saying.
humid.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Anyway,
make a wreath out of grain to honor the harvest.
go camping. Hello,
And
it's the same thing as a picnic.
But camping can be done in the mountains where it's cooler.
And a picnic could not.
Well, yes, you could, but how often do people even think about going to the mountains for a picnic? They think about going to the mountains to
I
go
think
camping.
of Yogi Bear and Boo Boo.
And your picnic basket?
Make a magical collage of Thanksgiving using pictures taken in nature. You can make a magical collage of anything of things that you want to accomplish, or I don't know, just scenarios, whether it be pictures from a magazine or newspaper of a family sitting at a table, or
Right.
dollar bills, or $20 bills, or a yacht, or whatever.
And it doesn't have to be pictures you've taken.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying, from
That's
magazine or
what- yeah,
newspaper.
like-
The idea of Thanksgiving in America, in my opinion, in the last couple of years, has really taken a shit nosedive.
Well,
Because the concept and what we were taught, what all of us were taught about Thanksgiving, was bullshit.
yes.
It was absolute bullshit. And, just like the whole Columbus Day thing, it's taken a nosedive. So
Yes.
it doesn't have to be about Thanksgiving, but being thankful for your life, what you have going on, and do a collage of, what do they call that though? When you do a collage of, like if you want to be a model, you have a collage of different models, maybe a yacht, maybe, I don't know.
That's kind of more like a manifestation board or a vision board. Vision board. That's
That's
what they call
what yes, vision board. Well, that's kind of, if you're doing a magical collage, that's a vision board.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
that's the point.
Yes.
I guess I was trying to.
Yes.
Designing
This is my favorite one.
designing an outdoor scavenger hunt.
Yes. Yes, I think that could be fun, not only for
Well,
kids.
of course it'd be fun.
But for adults too.
So, a scavenger hunt with kids and adults. Some of the items are the little shooters.
But only the
For
adults.
the kids, if they find that, they get a $5 bill. You think there's not a kid that's going to turn in a bottle for $5?
Well, I was gonna say like only certain clues could lead there, but those clues have to be given to the adults.
Yeah, but kids are kids. They will find a motherfucking bottle.
Oh. True.
Anyway.
True.
I mean, just because they're looking for stuff, they're going to look everywhere, under everything. They're going to be more intent in searching than the adults will.
Well, but
the adults will look at the obvious shit first, while the kids.
But the whole point of a scavenger hunt is you follow clues. Like, you are given a specific set of clues. You are given a specific thing.
True.
That you have to follow. So if the kids are, like, if you send the kids off in one direction and the adults off in the other, and somehow a kid ends up over there, either you fucked up and put the clue in the wrong place, or the kid was like, hey, they look like they're having more fun.
But there's all kinds of things you can do, and that does sound like a really fun.
Yes, I think that would be really
like
really
a grown-up version of Easter egg hunt.
Yeah. And actually, the last couple of years that my parents were alive, for Christmas, we did a scavenger hunt at their house for the adults. Like, the kids got presents, but the adults, and there was one year my mom had me write up some of the clues. And she made sure I didn't get that room. Because she's like, well, that
wouldn't be fair.
Wouldn't be fair.
You would go right to if the item was something you wanted.
Well, I mean, at every clue there was like a certain amount of money or something. But I had the room she gave me was my dad's office. And there were certain items that I thought like, oh, I could do something really cool with this.
Right.
And one of them was that disc that we have on the wall that actually came from a big computer.
That disc is basically it's basically a fucking the size of old school record.
Yeah.
But it's a solid ass CD.
Yes.
Shiny on both sides.
So it actually stored information in a huge server.
Probably only like 200 megabytes. Like
Probably.
if you think about like the technology back then. Don't know what's on it either, right?
Well, it got, from what I was told, before he left the company and took it with him, it was erased. Because it actually did come out of his company's server.
Right.
And so they erased it first, made sure it had no information on it before they allowed him to take it.
I think we need to build a disc reader.
But, like, I had come up with something pretty cool about that. There was this really awesome clock he had that was very kind of steampunk.
Okay.
There were a couple other things that, like, I made really, really fun clues about.
Right.
And then because of they were both, like, not necessarily in the best of health, we ended up not being able to do that particular scavenger hunt. But they both were like, your clues were really fun. We loved them. But we're not going to be able to do this. So that was kind of disappointing because I wanted to see, like, if anybody would get it. But at the same time, like, just the fact that they appreciated it was cool. But anyway, that concludes our Lughnasadh episode. We are so sorry it is so late. I mean, Maven is right around the corner.
Well, that actually concludes
our Wheel of the Year
series.
Yes.
But I get the feeling we're still going to revisit some of them, especially Halloween.
Oh, yes.
Samhain. Because that is, without a doubt, without hesitation,
our favorite.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Our
favorite day of the year.
Holiday. And it actually goes until late October, late October to early November.
Right.
It's a whole. Anyway, but sorry guys. Thank you for watching. Thank you for your patience. Third time is a charm, apparently.
Yes.
Yes.
And we do deeply
Three freaking
apologize
times.
that it's taken us so long to get this one done.
The house is coming along.
Yeah, we're almost there.
Yeah. Well.
We're
Yeah.
3/4 of the way there.
Okay. Yeah. I'll
We're about 3/4 of the way
I'll go
there.
with that.
Um,
Even getting a bigger place, we still need more freaking storage.
no, I just need to get rid of stuff.
Well, that's not entirely accurate, but okay.
You never realize
We
how
both
much
do.
junk you accumulate until you have to pack it and move
I
it
can't
off.
find my Atari 2600.
We can't find your webcam, babe.
No, we haven't found that. That's why it looks a little bit different probably
Yes.
for you guys.
If you've noticed that the video quality is not the same as it used to be, it's because we can't find the webcam that we used. So we're using my laptop camera.
But yeah, also my Atari 2600. Like, yes, I said that correctly. My 1970s Atari 2600. That still worked. Can't
We'll
find
find
that.
it.
Yeah,
We'll
I know.
find it.
I'm not sweating it. I mean, it's here. It's got to be here somewhere.
As soon as we quit looking for it, we'll find it.
Well, that's a problem because I'm not going to quit looking for it. I mean, I guess I kind of have because I haven't done a search for it. Anyway, guys, have a great night. We love you.
Peace out.
Peace.